All right, going to talk dogs. I'm on my way to a new client. From my understanding and memory on the phone call, the owner said that the dog has bite history, or it's two dogs that are having fights and someone got bit trying to break up the fight. I don't remember. I'll, of course, find that out real quickly when we get there. For all clients, unless it's a brand new puppy or some situation that I know very clearly, what's going on, I'll always have the dog either on a leash, I always say on a safe, secure leash, or gated, crated for safety, and just so I can do an evaluation before we do our hands-on, because it really is important to be safe. I have dogs that people say, well, this dog likes people, it just doesn't like other dogs. It's like, well, your dog might sense that I'm like another dog when I show up. I'm there with an agenda. I'm not like your average person to them because of my, again, agenda, like my energy even, like they sense it, the way I'm talking, my zeroing in on them. They're not dumb. They're very attuned to that stuff. So I've had not a lot, but a couple dogs over the years bite at me and get very upset, saying, oh my God, I've never seen them act like that. And I just met them for the first time. So, just out of call, some people get offended by that, and that's the whole last video, the narcissism thing. It's like, can you get over yourself and respect that somebody, number one, if they're a professional asking you to do something related to what they're a professional at, please do it. And also, like, respect that maybe, like, oh, this guy's been in situations and he just wants to be cautious. So I send that message, and I send it to these people, and I just wanted to talk about that. Like, when I first meet a client, what do I do? What happens? So we do that. It's on the way. We've talked already beforehand, probably sent some text. I've confirmed the day before. Now I'm on my way. So I'll show up. The owner will either meet me outside with the dogs on leash, or they'll have like another family member hold the dogs back on leash while someone else answers the door, have them in a crate or behind gates. So just something like that on a safe, secure leash, gated, crated. Then we'll get into more of an intake. If it's really chaotic, I might give a few pointers just to get some control. If the dog's barking excessively and we can't even talk, I said, well, let's deal with it here and now, because this is obviously one of your issues when guests come to the home. Or we go outside and just talk, because sometimes before we do the training, they have to understand what the heck it's all about and why I'm going to do this and the right equipment and why this is happening, so they understand the merit in the training and blah, blah, blah. Then we do hands-on. So then we have the dog. If it's a, not a big dog, or a dog that I think is going to be okay with me, I'm kind of reading it well. Usually I'm on point with that, usually. I'll take the leash, I'll start handling it, demonstrating some walking or place kind of exercises, have a sit at my side just to feel the dog's threshold for listening and to demonstrate so the owner sees what's like. Usually I'll get the dog to focus or not do a behavior that they normally do in a situation, or on a walk, not pull or not react. So they're happy. It also has the client see the value in it, so they'll start applying it too, because that's all that matters, is the client does it after I'm gone. And then I have the client practice. Then we, it's okay, now it's your turn. And then by the end of that lesson, we wrap up. We'll go through some of the things they want to, take away as far as insights, understandings, changes made. A lot of changes we'll go through too, certain rules of engagement. And then just, this has got to be consistent. It shouldn't be something that a month from now I'm reminding you to do what we're going to cover today. I send them a bunch of supplementary videos, podcasts on these different initial foundation subjects, even like social media from other trainers. Cheat sheet, I call it, one that gives like an overview of all the rules and how to say commands and what certain things mean, just the basic, communication and structure needs for dogs in training. And like a command, I call it a flow chart. It's really just the steps of like how not training the owner, like so they get a visual of how not to repeat commands, link commands into themselves. If this happens, then that happens, or if that happens, this happens. Just so they see a visual of, because you're not just free talking. Like I could say different words, but it could still end up meaning the same end. Usually it might be a little, but you get the gist. Dogs, it's either is or isn't, because they have a black and white mind, especially if you're using these commands to get them to feel that, hey, real life has to be this priority. Like you're reacting to something, or you're running away, or you're following me around the house and it's triggering all your separation anxiety. These are all things that if we address it now, these commands have value. It just, okay, now I understand. So the way you say it, not repeating yourself, not saying, okay, if you're not listening, I'll say different words. I'll say their name over and over. Following through with the command properly. So again, I'm not go off topic, but all these things are really like part of what that first lesson should at least initiate clients to, and then I give them the supplemental things to the resources. They can study it, they can reference it if they need. Why? because it's going to make their practice go a lot better. It's going to stress their dog out minimally because the communication is not inconsistent, and their role in the life is now being a leader. So a trainer said, it was a great statement. Don't put the collar on 20 minutes after you wake up and the dog just got 20 minutes of the old opportunity working. Get the equipment on right away. Have the training going from day one. Why? Because then you can phase out of that and your dog has the right life skills, the role in their life that you're demonstrating to have consistently delivered, and then they just start, not even doing the training, they just have that mindset and proper behavior patterns on their own. So anyway, that's that. I'm driving now down the canyon here to Malibu. I always get excited when I look on my GPS, and now that it's open again after these fires, they'll say, okay, it's in Venice. I'm going Venice, California. It's pretty popular. You probably heard of Venice Beach. And there's other routes to get there. And I was so happy when I saw, even though it's going to be an hour of driving, so there'll be some traffic down there. I just, it's nice if you can see my background there. It's really pretty. Malibu. I can never afford to live here, and even if I could, I wouldn't want to deal with all the other LA things. That's the funny thing. Like, I could live like an hour outside of the city and get a house and live okay, and a nice, like, not terrible place to live area. There's some really neat little pockets where it's like hidden, and it's just like, just real safe, relaxed little like mountain towns and stuff like that. But then you got to come down to the crappy stuff, and I just don't want to deal with that, or minimally deal with it. That's just the reality. Because I have an option. I have Alaska. So anyway, my ADHD, I know. But again, thank you so much for these people who have been following lately. Comments are appreciated. Try to be nice. Just putting myself out there and trying to share some info that'll help dogs. And tell a friend. Go on my website. It's Dog Training LA, Dog Training AK. My book's coming out soon. It's a full, all-encompassing book on separation anxiety and what to do about it if your dog is struggling with that issue. That's going to be, I'd say hopefully within a month I'll have that done. So that's that. Thanks again.